bro. Social media is on fire right now, and the streets of the internet ain't seen chaos like this since the early OTF days. Fans are pacing their rooms, group chats are blowing up, and the entire rap community is holding its breath because a leaked jail call, yes, a leaked jail call, allegedly features the brother of Lil Durk saying something so explosive, so unbelievable, so downright career-ending, that people are questioning everything they thought they knew about loyalty in Chicago's drill scene. According to the viral clip, the voice on the line, reported to be someone extremely close to Durk, drops a bombshell about the late King Von that nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming. In the audio, the speaker claims, "We set up Von for the label deal." And the moment that snippet hit the internet, you could practically hear the collective gasp from the rap world. Fans are screaming, "Ain't no way." Others are connecting dots that were never meant to be connected. And conspiracy pages are working overtime, stitching together timelines, contracts, old interviews, even body language from past videos, trying to decode whether this is real or the most dangerous lie the internet has ever manufactured. But the craziest part? The voice in the audio sounds eerily familiar. Familiar enough that even people who swear they know Durk and Von's entire history are questioning their loyalty to the narrative they've defended for years. Comments are already wild. This just changed everything. If this is true, the family is done. Durk gotta respond now. And yet, nobody knows if the clip is legit. Nobody knows where it came from. Nobody knows who leaked it, or why it was leaked right now. All we know is this: if that voice really said what the internet claims, we're looking at the biggest betrayal scandal in drill history. And this is only the beginning. The moment that alleged jail call snippet hit the internet, everything inside the OTF circle shifted like the ground had cracked beneath their feet. Even though nobody could verify if the voice was real, the sheer possibility ignited chaos that spread faster than Chicago wind. Suddenly everyone had an opinion, everyone had evidence, and everyone claimed they knew what really went down. Lil Durk's phone blew up so badly that his assistant had to put it on Do Not Disturb because the notifications were pushing the phone to overheat. Fans weren't just curious. They were panicking, accusing, theorizing, and rewriting history in real time. Inside a dimly lit studio room, Durk sat with his head bowed low, elbows resting on his knees, staring at the ground as though the answer to everything was hiding in the carpet. His engineer hovered near the soundboard, unsure of whether to ask what was going on or to simply let the silence sit heavy. Durk's brother, fictionalized here as Mark to avoid any connection to real individuals, sat against the wall with his hands in his hair, whispering, "This ain't good. This ain't good at all." Durk finally spoke, voice low and tight. "Why they always do this when I'm about to drop? Why now?" Mark didn't answer. He looked terrified, overwhelmed, almost frozen. Not because he had done anything, but because the voice in that so-called leak sounded just close enough to his tone that even he, for a split second, had wondered if someone had manipulated his real recordings. "Bro, that ain't me," he said again, his voice cracking. "I never said none of that about Von. Never." Durk nodded, but the pain was visible in his eyes. "I know, but the fans don't. They hearing what they want to hear." That was the real betrayal, not within OTF, but from the internet itself, which had turned grief and loyalty into hashtags, content, and drama to consume. People who once posted "Long Live Von" under every picture were now stitching clips of Durk performances, adding ominous music, zooming in on facial expressions from years ago as if they were forensic experts. Meanwhile, in the hallway outside the studio, members of the team argued loudly. "That call fake as hell," one yelled. Another shot back, "Fake or not, it's blowing up everywhere." We gotta respond." Someone else slammed their hand against a wall. Respond to what? A lie? That's exactly what they want. Durk could hear every word, and each sentence chipped away at him piece by piece. He remembered the night he lost Von, he remembered the phone call that broke him, and now the world was acting like he orchestrated the pain he'd spent years trying to heal from. His phone buzzed again, this time from an old friend who rarely called. Durk answered quietly. "Yo, what's going on out there, bro?" the friend asked. "You gotta shut this down fast. The way they running with it, man, it looked crazy." Durk sighed. "I'm trying, but the video moving faster than I can type." Then came the twist nobody expected. Just as Durk ended the call, the studio door burst open and a young OTF affiliate, Malik, ran inside holding his phone high. Bro, look at this. Somebody just posted the full audio. Durk stood instantly. Full audio from what? Malik hit play. At first, the same deep voice from the viral leak spoke. But then the audio glitched, warped. An unnatural robotic underlayer started bleeding through the sound, a clear sign of AI manipulation. At the end, the voice abruptly switched accents mid-sentence, then cut out entirely. Malik looked around at everyone. This whole thing fake. I voice clone. Someone set y'all up. A wave of shock moved through the room like a cold blast. Durk closed his eyes, exhaling slowly. Not in relief, because the damage was already done, but in frustration. They using AI to make beef now, he muttered. That's what we doing. Mark stood up, pacing. So they fake my voice, drop it online, saying now everybody think I sold out my own people? Bro, that's worse than a rumor. That's character assassination. Durk nodded. It's meant to divide us. Somebody want OTF in shambles. Word traveled fast through the team. Anger replaced confusion. Who would do this? Someone asked. An op? A troll page? Somebody clout chasing? The theories were endless and pointless because the internet didn't care about truth. It cared about entertainment. Meanwhile, fans online were losing their minds. In one corner of Twitter, people said, if the full audio glitching, it's obviously edited. In another corner, people doubled down. They trying to cover it up now. Then someone claimed a cousin's friend's roommate had inside info, which turned into a whole new thread of allegations. Durk scrolled through comments until his vision blurred. They don't care, he murmured. They just want to see us tear each other apart. Mark walked over to him. Bro, what do I do? People calling my phone nonstop. Even Ma called crying. This got her shaking. That hit Durk the hardest. Family was everything. The idea of his mother being dragged into internet chaos lit a new fire in his chest. Nobody messing with Ma, Durk said firmly. We clearing this up tonight. But before he could plan his next move, the door opened again. This time it was their lawyer, fictionalized for safety, holding a laptop and looking grim. You're not gonna like this, the lawyer said. The AI clip came from a burner account overseas. Untraceable. The room fell silent. Overseas? Mark repeated. So someone from halfway across the world woke up and said, "Oi, let me start a Chicago conspiracy today." The lawyer nodded. And the worst part? Blogs already uploaded it. Big ones. They're running with the headline. Durk clenched his jaw. He wasn't just fighting rumors anymore. He was fighting an algorithm designed to amplify lies. The lawyer continued. Damage control is possible, but the story is spiraling. You need to address the fans yourself, directly. Durk looked up slowly. You want me to go online and explain why a fake voice clip ain't real? You have to, the lawyer insisted. Silence will make it worse. Mark stepped forward, voice shaking but determined. No, I'm doing it. It's my voice they faked. My name getting dragged. Let me talk. Durk hesitated. He knew the internet. He knew how vicious comment sections could get. You sure? He asked softly. Mark nodded. They coming for me? So I gotta face it. The moment felt heavy, like the beginning of a war against something bigger than music, bigger than Chicago, bigger than OTF. A war against a digital world that could manufacture scandal with the press of a button. Durk placed a hand on Mark's shoulder. Aight, but we doing this together. As the two brothers prepared to go live, the rest of OTF gathered around them, forming a circle. Not just for support, but for protection. Emotional, spiritual, reputational. Because tonight wasn't about proving innocence. Tonight was about reclaiming their story before the world rewrote it. But while Durk and Mark planned their response, the internet was already building a new narrative, one even crazier than the first. As Durk and Mark prepared to go live, the entire OTF studio felt like it was vibrating, not from music, not from speakers, but from pressure. Everyone in the room understood this wasn't just another internet rumor. This was an attack on loyalty, legacy, and the bond that had carried their circle through years of trauma and loss. The air buzzed with tension as Mark sat in front of the ring light, hands shaking slightly while he tried to steady his breathing. Durk adjusted the camera angle, saying quietly, "Don't trip, bro, just talk your truth." But before Mark could even hit the go live button, someone rushed in from the hallway, breathless and frantic. Y'all, look at Twitter again. This ain't normal anymore. The story just jumped levels. Durk grabbed the phone and saw it. A massive trending hashtag that read #Von setup confirmed. Created by a troll page, but amplified by thousands who didn't care if it was real or not. A viral edit showed old clips of Von and Durk laughing together, overlaid with dramatic music and captions like, "The truth was in front of us all along." Out of context, emotional, manipulative, and spreading like wildfire. Worse, someone had posted a new expanded AI audio clip where the cloned voice said more elaborate, incriminating lines, even mentioning dates and names that didn't make sense. But the internet didn't care about inconsistencies. The more dramatic it sounded, the more people shared it. Mark felt his stomach drop. Bro, they're framing a whole storyline around this. They making it sound like a documentary. Durk threw the phone onto the couch in frustration. Man, this is beyond trolling. This organized. In the corner of the room, one of the older OTF members spoke up quietly. Somebody trying to destroy the legacy y'all built. They know using Von's name gonna get attention. They know fans emotional. Everyone fell silent at that truth. But then another alarm hit. Literally. Durk's other phone buzzed non-stop with notifications from industry contacts, producers, execs, fellow artists, all asking versions of the same thing. Is everything okay? Do y'all need PR support? Do you want to issue a statement? The fact that insiders were reaching out meant the rumor had jumped beyond fan pages. It was leaking into the professional world. Durk rubbed his forehead. They looking at me crazy right now. Like I benefited from losing my own brother. Like I got a deal off pain. Mark felt that more deeply than anyone. And they saying I lined up my own boy. Over what? Over a label contract I ain't even got? It don't make sense, but people want drama more than truth. He looked at the camera again, hovering his thumb over the go live button. "Let me speak," he said, voice firm now. Durk nodded, but just as Mark pressed the screen, the entire Instagram app glitched. The live wouldn't start. The screen froze. The app crashed altogether. "Try again," someone shouted. He did, same result. Then someone checked Twitter. Another trending topic emerged. Instagram blocking OTF live? Fans spun conspiracy theories instantly. They hiding something. The label shutting it down. They trying to prevent Durk from clearing his name. When in reality, Instagram was just bugging from too much traffic. But the narrative was already written. Mark stepped away from the phone, pacing. "Bro, even the app fighting against us right now." Durk sighed. "Ew, forget Instagram. We'll make a video and post it everywhere." But before they could record anything, Durk's phone rang again, this time from someone unexpected, a figure from Von's family, someone with emotional weight, someone whose voice could shift the entire conversation. Durk hesitated before answering. "Hello?" The voice on the other end sounded tired, hurt, confused. "What is going on, Durk? Why is the internet saying Mark was involved in anything with Von? You know how this looks. You know how people gon' talk." The room went dead quiet. Even Mark froze. Durk swallowed hard. "It's fake. All of it. Trolls. Somebody trying to drag us down." The family member sighed deeply. "I believe you. But the fans? They won't let this go easy. People grieving look for villains." They rewriting history because it hurts less than the truth. Durk closed his eyes, nodding to himself. "I know, and it's killing me that Von's name back in drama when he should be resting." There was a pause. Then the family member said something that hit Durk harder than any rumor. "You better handle this right, Durk, because if you don't, fans gon' create a story that divides families for real." When the call ended, the room felt heavier than before. Mark sank onto the arm of the couch, rubbing his hands together. "I never wanted this. Von looked out for me. He treated me like a little brother, and now people think I betrayed him." Durk knelt beside him. "We gonna clear your name, but you gotta stay solid. They want you to break." Mark nodded, but his eyes revealed doubt. Meanwhile, online chaos escalated again. A popular blog posted a headline, "Exclusive, source close to OTF confirms internal conflict." It was a lie, a complete fabrication. But with the AI audio circulating, fans believed it instantly. Comment sections exploded, OTF falling apart. They turning on each other. Durk gotta choose between his family and Von's legacy. This worse than any Chicago beef. Back in the studio, tension among the crew grew. Some were angry, pacing, swearing revenge on whoever started the rumor. Others were scared, because fan narratives can spiral into real-life danger fast. The drill world has always been volatile, and misinformation can spark consequences nobody intended. Mark finally spoke. "I need to get ahead of this before someone outside takes this the wrong way." Durk nodded, but raised a hand. "You're not talking alone. Aw, we doing it together, as a unit." Just then, the youngest member of the crew, barely 20, stepped forward with fear in his eyes. "Y'all need to see this." He held out his phone. A TikTok had gone viral, showing a fake reenactment of the alleged setup using AI-filtered voices and dramatic captions. It was edited like a true crime documentary, but designed for entertainment. Millions of views, thousands of comments. People crying in the comments saying they felt sick. Others calling Mark a traitor. Mark's entire face hardened. They made a whole movie off a lie. But the worst twist, some fans believed they were uncovering hidden clues. They were breaking down old photos of Vaughn and Mark, pointing out body language, misinterpreting moments, crafting narratives out of shadows. Durk grabbed a bottle of water, slamming it on the table. "We need to speak now, before they convince the world we snakes." Finally, Instagram began working again. Durk and Mark sat in front of the camera, but right before Mark pressed go live, another notification popped up. A new audio leak, bigger, clearer, more convincing. The headline read, "Full call released. This one sounds real." Mark's hand dropped, Durk's jaw clenched. The war wasn't over, it was escalating. Fast. When that new audio leak alert hit Durk's phone, the room shifted instantly, like gravity itself doubled. Conversations stopped mid-sentence, chairs creaked under sudden stillness, and even the air felt like it froze. Durk snatched the phone so fast the charger ripped out. Mark leaned over his shoulder, dread already tightening his jaw. On it, the clip was posted by an anonymous account with 0 followers, yet somehow it already had thousands of views. A red banner flashed across the top of the screen. Unedited full call, no AI detection. That alone was enough to send fans into hysteria. People trust bold text more than truth. Durk hesitated before pressing play, like he was bracing for impact. The moment the clip started, a clean, crisp voice filled the room, and it sounded almost exactly like Mark. The voice said quietly, "We ain't mean for it to go like that." But the label needed something to move the deal. Vaughn was too unpredictable. Everyone in the room reacted at once. What? That ain't him. They getting too good at this AI stuff. But Durk didn't speak. His face went pale, eyes narrowing with a mix of anger and disbelief. Because the voice didn't just sound like Mark, it sounded like a calmer, slowed down version of him, something that a fan or stranger wouldn't know how to imitate, but AI would. Mark sat down slowly, his knees buckling. "Bro, they cloned me again. They cloned my voice again." He slapped his forehead, breathing hard. "This is a setup. This a takedown. Why they doing this to me?" Durk exhaled sharply. "Because attacking you makes them hurt me. They know I ain't responding to ops no more, so they coming at the people I love." The clip continued playing and the AI voice grew darker, more scripted. "Vaughn didn't know. We kept it from him for months. But once he popped, things were already in motion." One of the OTF members punched the wall hard enough to shake the room. "Shut that off, bro. This sick." But Durk didn't shut it off. Oh, he needed to hear the whole thing. He needed to know what narrative they were pushing. When the audio finally ended, a chilling silence swallowed the room. Mark's hands trembled uncontrollably. I need a minute," he whispered, stumbling out of the room. Durk followed him down the hallway to the back exit, where Mark collapsed onto a milk crate and buried his face in his hands. "Bro, they making me look like a monster, like I sold out Vaughn." His voice cracked. "I'd die before I do that." Durk crouched in front of him, gripping his shoulder. "Vaughn knew you loved him. We all know that. This AI nonsense ain't gonna erase that." But Mark shook his head violently. "It don't matter what we know, it's what they think. Fans already saying they saw this coming. They saying I always look jealous in pics. They acting like they know my heart." Durk swallowed the lump in his throat. "That's pain talking, bro. People grieving look for villains. They don't care if the villain real." A nearby staff member poked his head outside. "Durk, you gotta get inside. Now. This is breaking on mainstream news sites." Durk froze. News sites? Actual news sites? The staff member nodded, showing his phone. A top entertainment outlet had already posted the headline, "Breaking, new audio suggests possible motive behind King Von's death. OTF member implicated?" Durk felt something inside him snap. His voice dropped to a dangerous low. They dragging Von's name. They dragging mine. Now they dragging my family for clicks. He stormed back into the studio, fury radiating off him. "We not waiting no more," he announced. "We going live." Oh, and even if the app crashed 100 times, Mark re-entered slowly, still shaken but determined. "Let's do it." Before they set up, someone in the crew turned on the TV. The news anchor spoke in a solemn voice. While authorities have not confirmed the legitimacy of the leaked audio, fans across social media are demanding answers. Durk muted the TV instantly. They ain't confirming because they know it's fake, but they want to keep the story alive. Mark took a deep breath. "We gotta flip the narrative right now." Durk angled the camera, turned on the ring light, and positioned himself and Mark in the center. The rest of the crew stood behind them silently, their presence creating a visual wall of unity. Just before pressing "Go Live," Durk leaned toward Mark and whispered, "You speak from the heart. Don't yell, don't curse. Don't let emotion make you say something they twist." Mark nodded, licking his lips nervously. The live finally connected. Within 10 seconds, it shot to 80,000 viewers, then 120,000. Comments flooded so fast, the text looked like a waterfall. "Durk, what's going on? Mark confessing or nah? Von deserved better. This live going fed. Y'all lying or the audio lying?" Mark's chest tightened, but he started talking anyway. "First thing I need y'all to know, that voice ain't me at all. I don't know who made that fake clip. I don't know why they using Von's name, but I would never betray my brother. Never." The comments slowed slightly as people leaned in. Durk chimed in. "Y'all think we gon' sit here while people use AI to twist a man's legacy? Von ain't here to speak for himself. We his voice now. Oh, and none of these lies flying." But the chat wasn't convinced yet. "Show proof! AI detection? Why the clips sound exactly like Mark though? Someone lying fur." Tension climbed rapidly. Mark leaned closer, voice shaking. "I'm begging y'all, stop spreading this lie. I loved Von. We all did. I'm hurting every day he not here. Don't turn his death into content." For a moment, just a moment, the comments slowed. Empathy flickered in the crowd, but then something unexpected happened. A viewer comment pinned itself to the top automatically, flagged as high engagement, reading, "If it's fake, why did the clip sound like a real phone call?" Mark froze. Durk's jaw tightened. The chat exploded again, louder than before. "Explain that then. Why y'all look nervous? This live making y'all look worse. So y'all gaslighting us? Von deserves the truth, not excuses." People weren't listening. They were reacting, emotional, volatile, hungry for drama. Suddenly, Mark slammed his hand on the table. "Because that's the point. I is that good now. They made it sound real. That's why y'all falling for it." The outburst only fueled skepticism. Durk quickly placed a hand on his brother's shoulder. "Calm down, don't let them bait you." But the damage was creeping in. The narrative was still slipping. Then, right on live, a crew member handed Durk a phone with a terrified expression. Durk glanced at the screen, and his entire expression changed. Another new post, a new rumor. A sick one claiming that the AI expert who analyzed the clip said it was 90% likely to be real. It was false. It was fabricated, but it didn't matter because the internet believed it instantly. Comments began flooding the live. "It's real? AI expert confirmed. Mark, you done? Durk explained this." Durk stared at the phone, stunned. Mark whispered, trembling, "They trying to bury me." Durk looked into the camera with fire in his eyes and said, This ain't a rumor no more. This a war. And just like that, the situation spiraled into a level none of them were prepared for. When Durk looked into the camera and declared, "This ain't a rumor no more, this a war," the entire internet froze for half a second. Just long enough for the clip to be screen recorded, reposted, dissected, edited, paused, and turned into 100 different narratives within minutes. Fans debated what he meant. Blogs ran with sensational headlines. The live chat spiked from 120,000 to almost 300,000 viewers. People who weren't even fans of Lil Durk or King Von jumped in because they could feel drama brewing. And drama is everybody's favorite sport in 2026. But inside the studio, the reality felt nothing like the internet's excitement. Durk's chest was tight with frustration as the comments spiraled out of control. Mark sat frozen beside him, face pale, fingers digging into the arm of the chair like he was holding on to reality itself. The damage from the supposed AI expert confirmation spread through the chat like poison, and even though the OTF crew kept telling viewers the expert didn't exist, people weren't listening. Oh, truth rarely competes well with entertainment. Durk ended the live stream abruptly, slamming the phone onto the table. "They not listening, not hearing nothing we saying," Mark whispered, voice trembling. "They think I'm the villain, bro. They really think I lined up Von." Durk turned toward him sharply. "You didn't, and you know that. Von know that. Anybody that was close know that. But they don't know that," Mark said, pointing toward the phone like it was a weapon aimed at him. "And they not trying to." Someone from the crew shouted from the back, "Look!" He held out his phone. "They already clipped the live. They twisting it. They saying the reason you ended it is because Mark slipped up. Look at this title. Durk shuts down live after brother almost confesses." The blood drained from Mark's face. Confesses? Confesses what? Durk snatched the phone, scanned the clip, and tossed the device onto the couch. "I swear, these pages want to see us drown." As the crew argued behind them, tension began fracturing the room. One guy paced aggressively. Another asked, "Why we even responding? They gonna twist everything either way." Someone else said, "No bro, we have to respond. If we stay quiet, they'll think it's true." And then came the worst moment yet. A crew member named Tino, who had been quiet the whole night, finally exploded. "Man, I told y'all something like this would happen. Ever since Von passed, people been waiting for y'all to slip," Mark snapped. "Slip? I didn't slip. They made this up." Tino threw his hands up. "I ain't saying you did, bro. I'm saying people want to believe you did. They've been side-eyeing everything OTF does. You think they care about AI? They don't care about facts. They care about drama. That's all." The room fell silent at that brutal truth. Mark sat down again, rubbing his temples. "So what now? They think I confessed. They think an expert confirmed it. What more damage can they do?" Tino hesitated before speaking. "A lot more." Durk looked up sharply. "What you mean?" Tino showed him another post. A supposed anonymous insider had gone viral claiming Mark had been removed from OTF pending an internal investigation. It was completely false, but nobody cared. Mark's jaw dropped. "Bro, they saying I got kicked out of my own family." Durk exhaled slowly. "Sit down, bro. Sit down right now." But Mark couldn't sit. He stormed out of the studio into the hallway, emotions boiling over. Durk followed, as did several crew members. Mark paced the hallway, fists clenched, eyes glossy with tears he refused to let fall. "They turning Von's death into a circus. They using my voice to paint me as some snake, and now they saying you kicked me out?" Durk walked closer. "You my brother. You not going nowhere. You hear me?" But Mark shook his head. "They not gonna stop. They gonna keep making new clips. New lies. Every time we respond, they twist it. I'm losing myself, bro. I'm losing who I am." Durk grabbed him by both shoulders. "You not losing nothing. You still you. Don't let them take that." At that moment, the studio manager ran down the hallway, panic written all over his face. "Durk, turn on the news now." Back in the studio, someone had already put the broadcast up on the flat screen TV. Buzz as the anchor's words cut through the room like a blade. Tonight's top story, mounting speculation around newly leaked audio allegedly tied to the death of rapper King Von. Representatives for Lil Durk have not issued a formal statement. Meanwhile, fans continue to demand transparency. Durk gripped the back of a chair so hard his knuckles turned white. Transparency? How are we supposed to be transparent about something that never happened? But it got worse. The anchor continued. There are now claims circulating that the voice in the leak matches speech patterns of a close family member of Lil Durk. Though this has not been verified, many fans feel the audio raises questions. Mark nearly fell backward. Speech patterns? Speech patterns? They diagnosing me off TikTok now? Someone threw their hat across the room. They reaching? You using AI lies to destroy y'all, name? Durk turned the TV off and faced the room. Aight, enough. We done reacting. We need to be proactive. How? Someone asked. Durk took a long breath. We find whoever made the clip. A murmur rose in the room. That could be anybody. It's AI, bro. Could be a bot. Or someone trying to get clout. Mark stepped forward, voice low but steady. We start by finding the first account that posted it. Durk nodded. Trace it. Contact IG. Contact Twitter. Contact whoever we need to. Another crew member added, and what about the fans? The blogs? The outlets posting this like it's real? Durk's eyes hardened. We handle them next. But the universe wasn't done throwing punches. Right then, an alert hit every phone in the room simultaneously. Or breaking, someone claiming to be the real caller posts a video saying they will release the true unedited call at midnight. A blurry-faced figure in a hoodie said, OTF lying, I was on that phone call, the truth dropping tonight. The room erupted into chaos again. That's not even his voice. Another AI stunt. They doubling down. Mark backed into a wall, sliding down until he was sitting on the floor. They trying to erase my whole life, bro. They turning me into a villain I don't recognize. Durk crouched beside him, eyes fierce, voice calm but loaded with emotion. Listen to me. I don't care what the internet says. I don't care what these fake clips say. You mine. You blood. And ain't nobody changing that. Mark looked up, eyes full of fear. But what if they turn the world against us? Durk pressed a hand to his chest. Then we fight the world. Together. Outside the studio walls, hashtags climbed faster. Blogs refreshed their pages. Fans stayed awake waiting for midnight because the world believed the real call was coming. But inside the studio, they knew something no one else did. The midnight leak was going to change everything, but not in the way the internet expected. The clock struck midnight, and the entire internet held its breath. Fans sat in dark bedrooms, refreshing their screens every 2 seconds. Blog pages hovered over the upload button. Reaction YouTubers had their cameras pointed at their faces, ready to make 10-minute videos out of whatever dropped. And OTF. They were standing together in that studio waiting for the next wave of chaos, but the so-called real caller never posted anything. No audio, no confession, no proof. The account went silent, then vanished completely, deleted as if it had never existed, and instantly, the internet split in two. Some fans yelled, "See? They hiding!" While others finally started waking up, saying, yeah, this whole thing looking fake now. Emotions were high, families were stressed, and the entire Chicago scene felt the weight of lies engineered by strangers who had nothing to lose and everything to gain from stirring the pot. Durk and Mark didn't celebrate. They didn't laugh, because they knew the damage wasn't magically erased. Once something hits the internet, it never truly dies. Even when proven false, the whispers linger. The screenshots remain. The conspiracy pages don't delete their posts. They double down, and OTF understands more than anyone that misinformation spreads louder, faster, and deeper than truth ever will. But one thing became clear. Von's legacy was never built on lies. It was built on loyalty, music, real brotherhood, and a bond that no AI clip could rewrite. And that's exactly why the world needs to hear this story. Not because it's real, but because it shows how easily facts can be fabricated and weaponized in 2026. And now it's your turn. If you were watching this play out, what would you believe? The AI clips, the rumors, the live, or the loyalty you've seen for years. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the wildest moments in hip-hop culture. Because trust me, the next chapter in this saga is coming sooner than you think.